Hey everybody, how are you? It feels so great to be back in front of the camera again. I hope you guys are all doing well. Let's see, I hope you guys are having a great weekend. Today is Sunday, it's October 18th. I started this process yesterday. I keep doing retake after retake after retake, so hopefully this will be the one that makes it up onto the YouTube channel. But I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm hanging in there. Um, I'll get you guys caught up. So the last couple of videos I made months ago, I talked about doing a documentary and educating the public on community gang stalking. Right? It's a sophisticated form of harassment, and I wanted to educate the public about it. And that project, I, I, it's up in the air right now. I'm hoping it gets done. It just. I don't know how to tell you this. I don't know how to explain it, but what I envision versus what actually happened is like two completely night and day. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to give you the update or status about that project. I'm hopeful it gets made. But I don't. I can't say. I will say, please don't hold your breath. I hope it gets. I would like to do it. Um, I'm doing okay. I'm faced. I'm battling like a gazillion simultaneous problems, all together at once, and it's mentally it's exhausting. But what can you do? So I was dealing with a housing problem. I was homeless at one point. I found an apartment. I've moved in, and so now I'm just getting settled in. It doesn't feel like home yet. It's crazy because I thought I'd be all excited and off the charts, and some days I'm, happy to be here and don't want to leave the apartment. But then there's other days where I'm just it just isn't. It's still I'm trying to get settled in. It doesn't feel like home yet, and once I get it to feel like home, I'll be much happier. So that the housing issue is getting there, right? Um, Employment. I need to find a job. That's been challenging. This pandemic is really it's hard. The quarantine is not funny. Um, so that's another issue. My phone was hacked, and I had to get a new phone. Get again that was a headache. Social media has been a nightmare. For those of you who have been on Twitter, I guess you're aware of that. It seems to be settling down now, so I'm happy about that. Uh, I'm gonna stop there. That's my, that's, like I said, it feels like the 10 plagues of Egypt, but what can I do? So I'm hanging in there by the skin of my teeth, um, and that's pretty much it. So this video. I wanted to make a video for to address those Jehovah's Witnesses who have left. Um, I know that when I left, I faced challenges, and I want to know how you guys are doing. One of the challenges that I faced when I first left was I was afraid of Armageddon still, and I didn't want to tell anyone. So I was fearful and very angry at the same time, and I didn't want to talk about it. And so I'm asking you all, how are you guys adjusting to life in the real world? Leave your comments below. Um, I just want to know, like, are there any issues that you're facing related to having left the cult, and how you're settling in, and it just, I guess I just want to know that if you're doing okay, and is there anything that you need guidance on, that kind of thing. Um, so this video, I want to, in the past, when I first started this whole thing about helping Jehovah's Witnesses leave the cult, I encouraged people to research cults, what they are, how they operate, who they recruit, how they recruit people, so forth and so on. And now that I'm gone through this whole big thing on Twitter, I it kind of made me want to go back and address things in greater detail. So I decided to make another video. Um, so most of you already know cults usually have a criminal element to them. The religion is what you see up front, and what's working in the background is the criminal connections that you aren't aware of. So it could be money laundering for a drug cartel, it could be human trafficking, it could be doing any of these criminal things, right? For and that the cult is involved in that we as members are not aware of. What we aren't aware of as well is that to the cult, we're targeted for our resources. So if we get disfellowship and leave the cult, or whether we disassociate ourselves, the cult doesn't just say, "Oh well, that person left. Oh well, we got to go find somebody else." No, the cult is still that person is a target. That person is nothing but a commodity to be used to the cult's benefit. So if you're not still a Jehovah's Witness, they'll just figure out some other way to get your resources, or to whatever, however they want to manipulate you, they're going to continue doing that. And that's what's been happening to me. And it's important that you understand this, because um, again, the cult is going to look after for its whatever is in its own best interest. It's not looking out for you, and you need to be aware of this. You need to be aware of this. So that's what I wanted to make you all aware of today. That um, the cult has criminal elements to it, and all because you aren't aware of it, it does not mean that you will not be adversely affected by it. If you rely on others to protect you and tell you about this, it may happen, it may not. And so, in case no one has told you, I'm going to share, I'm going to talk with you about it, just so everyone's educated about it and can be aware of it. All right. So the best way to start is with the criminal part of it, right? So the criminal part of it is the cult is going to try to get all of the resources it can out of you, whether you money, property, your time, energy, whatever resource you can possibly give to the cult. In an earlier video, I encouraged you all to be careful of whom you allow into your lives, because what the cult does is intentionally plant people in your life, and that person is there for a specific reason. The person is placed there in your life for a specific reason. That person is going to probably cause you embarrassment, shame, chaos, a lot of frustration. And the person is, and that the goal is to, you go back to the cult. You say, wow, this is way too hard. I'm so hurt. I'm so frustrated. I need prayer. I need, divine intervention. I need, the assistance from the elders. You go running back to the cult. That is the whole intent of it. Again, you got to realize you're being manipulated. You're intentionally being manipulated. So when I initially said that in the video, people are thinking about coworkers, their friends, their neighbors, their classmates. You have to include spouse. Your spouse is can be used. And again, we're, as Jehovah's Witnesses or former cult members, we're thinking, oh no, marriage is a sacred institution. We're thinking that someone makes a commitment to us, that they're working from a genuine, pure love of us. And what I'm here to tell you is that the cult, it does not do that. The cult will use anyone it can to cause us pain and harm. And again, the intent is, you say, oh my God, I got to go running back. I got to go back. I need prayer. I need, the Bible. I need this. I need the elders to help me. I have to go back. But that's the whole intent of what the cult is doing. They want to get any resource that you have. They want it they want it basically, and they will put anyone, and they will intentionally put people in your life to cause you harm, and to for that very reason. So that's the one thing you should be aware of. So my first piece of advice is to go through your life and look at the people in your life and make sure that if this same person is causing arguments and is not carrying out their responsibilities as a provider or whatever, then you need to you need to don't look the other way or make excuses for them. You need to see it for what it is and make sure you understand that it's possible that the cult put this person in your life for that very reason. You need to be aware of that. You're being set up, manipulated by the cult. So that's the first thing I wanted to bring to your attention. Another thing I wanted to bring to your attention is the criminal element of it. So um, I'll start with the Jeff Epstein case. Now, Jeff Epstein, he died while in prison, right? And so now his partner is now has been arrested and was charged. I don't think she's been sentenced yet. Her name is Ghislaine Maxwell, and their assistant is a former Jehovah's Witness that left the cult. And after leaving the cult, she was railroaded into, I don't know how she got mixed up with them, but that's, again, it's human trafficking. She got railroaded into being their assistant. And what they were doing, and this is back in the 90s, mind you, but what they were doing was teenage girls providing sexual teen girls providing sex to influential adults, right? And so she's I mean, again, the way the cult works is that you either part of the cult or you get railroaded into criminal behavior. And so I'm bringing this to your attention because you need to understand that that's the way the cult works. And for everyone. So, either again, they're just trying to get as much of our resources away from us, or as possible, or they again they farm us out to their criminal associates. So we have to be aware of that. So one of the reasons I'm making this video is because there's this brother-sister team. They've been making videos on YouTube, and I've been watching them. And at first when I saw that, it's like, there's something strange there. I don't know if anyone's noticed this. I don't know if anyone's saying anything about it. But then they made another video recently, and again, more red flags went up, and I couldn't remain silent anymore. So I left a comment on their channel, on their YouTube channel about the video, and now I'm making my own video to address it, just so I can get it off my chest. But this is what I want to say. Sometimes we make a video, and just with the things we do or say on that video, it triggers a signal to criminals, to a criminal network. So we're being used, right? So let's say, for example, that I wanted to sabotage the 2020 election coming up. And I arranged for this network of people to help me out nationwide. And I tell them, okay, I'm going to make YouTube videos. When you see me do X, Y, Z, it's your signal to do whatever the first step of this thing, of my plan is. I'm going to release a second video. You'll see me tug on my ear. You see me tug on my ear, it's the sign to do the next step. I'll do a third video. I might scratch my nose. That signals you to do you understand? So the whole time I'm just releasing all these videos, and I'm I'm talking about home decorating or whatever. But as I'm scratching my ear, or I'm scratching my nose, or whatever, I'm pulling on my collar, it means it gives a signal to that whole network of my associates. Listen, we've got to go after this 2020 election. I need you to, take the next step in this process. So that's the first thing I want to bring to their attention. In that video, the one of the person is playing the male in that video is playing a guitar. He barely looks at the camera, keeps his head down for the most part. It's again, he could be signaling a criminal network of people. He could be sending a message to a criminal network to take action, to do a criminal act. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful. Now his sister is also in the video, and again they're singing the Kingdom. I think there's a Kingdom Melody song, but anyway, they're singing a song, and the young lady in the video, she's very beautiful, and again, the criminal element is that there could be a human trafficking ring involved. And looking at her, and they're sizing her up. Okay, she may make a great prostitute. I got my ring of prostitutes. I can, ship her across the country to Atlanta, to California somewhere, and it's, she's now part of this prostitution ring. And you gotta be if you're saying it can't happen to me and blah blah blah, it can happen. It can happen. They get people addicted to drugs, and before you know it, they don't. You understand? It's a very dangerous situation. They physically abuse them. It's a very, you understand? So for both individuals involved in those videos, it's a very dangerous, precarious situation to be in. And my advice to you is stop making them. If you're going to make a video, face the camera. No weird behaviors, no strange, nothing that could be construed as a signal of any kind. Face the camera, make a normal video from beginning to end. This last part I want to bring in, I want to make you aware of. When you agree to make those videos for whoever you're making them for, whoever's giving you instructions, at any given time, that person can say, listen, I can't be affiliated with this. My name cannot be connected to this at all. And they can arrange for you to be taken out of the picture. And that goes for anyone who's involved in community gang stalking and harassing targeted individuals. At any given point, your life can be snuffed out. The person who's giving the instructions could determine, well, listen, I don't need this person blabbing. I don't, and your death could be made to look like an accident or suicide. But yeah, you can be taken out. So that is another concern as a person who has been targeted, and for those who are engaged in this behavior, you need to be aware that your own safety is not guaranteed. You are placing both that targeted individual as well as yourself in danger. And they're not going to tell you the whole thing from the beginning. Oh, yes, we're going to try to kill Miss Warmack. No, they're not going to tell you all of that. They're not going to tell you all of that. They just tell you, oh, we need you to call Miss Warmack and tell her to, right? Some seemingly innocent request. And really, it's a setup for the person to be ambushed. So that's what I need you to think about when you're making all these videos and things like that. You got to be careful that you're not getting, what seems like an innocent project. You may be involved in a criminal, situation, right? So you have to be careful. The other thing I want to recommend that you all do is look at your resources. Because with myself, I was being harassed for years. And my dad is a veteran, right? He served in the military. He's passed away. But he served in the military, and eventually, for me, I reached out to the veterans. I asked for their assistance, and provided that you're not doing anything wrong or provoking your harassment, I received help from them, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful, and I want to, make sure that other JWs are aware of this. The other thing I did is there are Jehovah's Witnesses. There are two people that attended the same congregation as I did, and they are one is got her dad wasn't a Jehovah's Witness. Her dad said, "Listen, you're going to college. I don't care. You're going to college." So she became a detective. She ended up becoming a detective for the New York City Police Department. So she's been a help to me. There's another person I attended the same congregation as both of us, and the same thing. He works closely with law enforcement. So I reached out to both of them for help, and I'm grateful to them. I know that they're helping me behind the scenes, and I appreciate it. So that's another thing I want to encourage you guys to do. Look at all of your resources, whether it be neighbors, whoever it is, and see if this person can assist you. If you're being harassed, you really need to take steps to address it. And again, my advice to you is be comfortable saying no. If I don't care if the request comes from a politician or whoever, be careful that you are not being used to help these criminal empires, because again, you're not going to know it. They'll just ask you to make a video or whatever, and you just comply, and it's okay to say no. Just tell them I don't feel comfortable doing it. I don't feel comfortable doing that. And again, the expectation is that we're sheep like, and we'll just do as we're told. And we need to break away from that mold. We have to be able to speak up for ourselves. We have to be, again, we don't want to get caught up in anything after leaving a cult, because keep in mind the cult doesn't care about your well-being. It does not care about your future or anything like that. It's only looking out for itself. And so you have to be just as diligent to look out for yourself. All right, so I hope this video helps. I hope it's giving you guys something to think about. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the box in the comment section, and I will respond. But it feels great to be back in front of the camera, so I'm going to leave it right there. And everyone, take care. Have a great weekend, and have a great week. And, stay in touch. All right, talk to you later. Bye.